Is this really where we're at, America? Take a look at this and I'll be right back. Yeah, he's Somalian, and he said he and his brotherhood are going to take over Minneapolis. Minnesota, probably next. And then the USA, America. Then they'll take over America. Well, okay, so good for him if he thinks he wants to try. But I'm telling you right now, we have so many patriots to this country, especially like in our Midwest, in our southern states, that are either, war veterans or they're active military personnel or they're police officers, and they have their Second Amendment rights, and they're just itching. They're just itching to go back and teach some of the things that they learned at war, or to show you like how much experience they have with, their Second Amendment rights. So I would be careful what you wish for, because we got a lot of patriots in this country that will never allow that to happen. Okay, I did some digging on Somalia, the country of Somalia, and the government and the corruption, and if there's even an established government there, which there isn't. It's just a bunch of gang leaders, and they disappear people. It's bad. It's really, really, really fucking bad, especially if you're a woman. But so tens of thousands of Somalians have made it to the USA, and now they're in Minnesota. Well, basically they're in the Minneapolis area. And now there's this corruption scheme where these Somalians have figured out where they could work the system if they were to declare that some of their kids had like autism or signs of autism, they could get more money from Medicaid. And they did that, and they were able to funnel millions of dollars from America back to these corrupt gang members or whoever, family members back in Somalia. In that country that's so corrupt that they left. They fled away from there in asylum to come to America, a better place, where they established themselves to rip Americans off and send it back to the country they left. Make it fucking make sense. I say, I'm not a racist if I want somebody that did that to me and took my tax-paying dollars that I work every fucking day for 40 hours a week plus 2 other jobs, and they took my fucking money, sent it back to Somalia, and they haven't even lived here 10 fucking years. I say deport them all, and I'm not a racist. So allegedly Tim Walz, the governor of Minnesota, knew all about this fraud. And he said nothing. He turned a blind eye to it. You want to know why he turned a blind eye to it? Because he needed the vote. He needed their votes so that he could be reelected. They're saying that he knew beforehand and said nothing so that he could get the Somalian vote, even though, and they're saying now it could be up to $2 billion in a scam of tax-paying dollars, leaving this country, leaving Minnesota, and going out to, well, we're not sure exactly yet where, but the federal government is looking into it. There's 2 or 3 probes looking into Tim Walz in Minnesota and everything going on with that state. Can you imagine if we find out that $2 billion of American tax-paying money, especially the state of Minnesota's tax-paying money, went nowhere in America, it went out to another country or into other people's countries' pockets that weren't even born here? How would you feel about that?
The funniest thing ever. So now IIhan Omar is saying that it's the FBI's fault that all of these people were allowed to swindle the system. It's the FBI's fault. Now, Trump was saying a long time ago, don't let these people in the country. We shouldn't be having this many immigrants from any damn country. Keep them all out. Vet them. Make sure we know who these people are, because they're sending us nothing but criminals. They called him racist. Now all of a sudden they're like, well, we could have just prevented it by the FBI doing their job. Trump was telling y'all to do y'all job by not even letting these criminals in the country to begin with. He said they weren't doing nothing but sending criminals over here, and y'all called him racist. Trump tried to warn you, and now y'all sitting there licking y'all wounds trying to put it on Trump's plate again. Idiots. The fact that some of these people were even frauds in their own country. They were scheming in their own country. Then they came here to run schemes. Trump was trying to tell y'all, they ain't doing nothing but sending us criminals, man. We got to keep these people out of our country. Democrats, no, these are good people. You can't judge everybody. Trump was like, I ain't judging everybody. I'm just saying vet everybody. Judging everybody versus vetting everybody is 2 different things. See, y'all want us to judge everybody and say everybody's good, but then y'all don't want us to judge everybody and say everybody's bad. See, racism is when you say, oh, we're black, so you can't judge us. You can only judge us if we're white, because you have judged enough black people for history. You can't judge us because we're black. Really? So we can't vet you? We can't run background checks on you all because you black? That's racist to me. And the fact that IIhan tried to say the program, Feed Our Future, was started by a white woman should give it, solid play. It was started by a white woman, so we solid. If that white lady didn't ever start it, then we wouldn't have been running game on it. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. That's like me saying if Henry Ford didn't make Ford trucks, I wouldn't be speeding. So you got to blame this on Henry Ford. See, I don't want to pay this speeding ticket officer. Henry Ford, white dude, made this Ford truck. You got to go after him.
Utter panic as she told CNN that she had no idea what else was happening, that she was keeping a close eye on all of the fraud happening in Minnesota. But earlier today, we got big breaking news of a huge arrest that was her friend taking pictures with her and other elected officials, including the governor, Tim Walz. But before I get to that point, do you know that the fraud is actually going up to almost $8 billion? It's actually exploding. It's actually becoming bigger than what we thought. And the people getting arrested are actually closer to IIhan Omar than we could have possibly imagined. Take a look at this, because I have way more to show you about how close this is getting to IIhan Omar and how big the fraud uncoverings is happening over there. And Trump is right on it. No way this is getting this out of hand. I thought that the whole IIhan thing was, hey, people committed fraud. They happen to be Somalian. She's gonna end up being all right. Whatever happens, she's not gonna be held accountable. Whatever. But whoa, this is way too close. This friend of IIhan and Governor Tim Walz was granted protected status, even though he shouldn't have had protected status. This story is taking a massive turn to the point, again, flying too close to the sun. We're actually going to go to IIhan Omar. And again, what IIhan Omar told CNN that she pretty much, remember, she ran to CNN, right? Because all hell was breaking loose in Minnesota at the time, which is about a few days ago on December 3rd. We're already on the 5th. And right prior days before that, before the month ended in November, we had gotten all this news about all this fraud that was uncovered, all the whistleblowers that have came out. She failed to mention that the guy who was about to get arrested is this guy. This is insane. This is taking a crazy turn of events. So here we go. Bombshell, IIhan Omar's done. Right? The rats are scattering, and most of them are begging reporters to hear their stories. Whistleblowers now confirm her campaign allegedly funneled massive amount of money to her husband's firm, while Somali-linked networks in Minneapolis ran one of the biggest COVID relief fraud schemes in history. Hundreds of millions stolen. And again, we're going to get to where this begins to get to the billions, right? It was an earlier report that the uncoverings are unfathomable. Like things are just getting that crazy. But as you hear, you have a bunch of people now wanting to come out to say, wait, we were working very closely, or we were either working with IIhan Omar, we were working with Governor Tim Walz.
Somalis are amazing people. They face so much hatred towards them nowadays, and what do? They blast it. They launch in their own psyop. Meet and greet, bigotry with what? With humor. That's right. Now they're saying, well, Minnesota was promised to us 3,000 years ago. Mini Somalia. That's what they call it nowadays. I'm actually very envy that they have that character and I don't have it. Man, I lose my shit when people, start to talk smack to me. I just lose it. I wish I could borrow something from Somalian character for my own use. But yeah. By the way, this post was promised to be sponsored by Somali American Political Affairs Committee, SAPAC. Hamudi, where's my $7,000? Where's my $7,000? Hamudi.
Hey everybody, HG and HD for EPAC. This is breaking news, December 7th, the year of our Lord 2025. That whole debacle in Minnesota with Congresswoman IIhan Omar and her Attorney General, Keith Ellison, these people are deep in it. I guarantee you, they benefited monetarily from the Somali fraud, and it's of a scale you cannot, I'm telling you what, billions of taxpayer dollars are involved, and everybody remotely involved benefited financially. Ellison, Omar, guarantee it. Here's the best way I can tell you. IIhan Omar, Congresswoman, when she started out, worth $50,000, $60,000. Now she's worth multiple millions. Attorney General Ellison, he's deep in it. I guarantee you, these people were not directly involved. And here's the thing I want to say. I'm not an attorney. I'm not an attorney, but like the joke goes, I play one on TV. I have people on my team at EPAC. We brief each other every week. I have attorneys, former DOD intelligence analysts, CIA, judges. We all brief each other every weekend, and sometimes in the middle of the week. This fraud goes so deep and is so pervasive, you will, once it's brought out, everybody in that whole group, from pillar to post, is being investigated big time. Once the truth comes out and the investigation is brought forward, when it's completed, you will not believe the depth and the scope of the billions of dollars and all the people involved. Everyone in Omar's circle, Ellison's circle, are being investigated right now. I have firsthand knowledge. I got deep insiders in D.C. The investigation is in full swing right now. You won't believe this shit that's going on. This is major breaking news of proportions that I want to tell you right now. IIhan Omar was on Face the Nation. Oh, I didn't know anything. I guarantee you. How did she go from $50,000, $60,000 a few years ago to multiple millions of dollars? The fraud was pervasive on a scale you will be stunned. And actually, as an authority on Marxist political warfare, I'm not surprised at all. These Marxists don't give a damn. If they can break the law and they think they can get away with it, they will do it. They do not care at all about the rule of law.